okay? Break harder. Oh, I see. Break better. That's terrible. El Camino, a gritty reboot of Trapper John MD you didn't know you... Guys, my audience was literally born after Aftermash. Girl Meets World with gunfights. Project Alf with gunfight. I think Project Alf did have gunfights, didn't it? Mod with We gave the Downton Abbey movie 40 shots of testosterone. You won't believe what happened next. A Different World with Cosby joke, really? He has a need for me. Not even people in Aaron Paul's family remember that Aaron Paul did a Need for Speed movie. Break Bad with a Vengeance. How many of these were about Need for Speed? And now, the expensive-looking, highly cinematic, televised feature sequel to an expensive-looking, highly cinematic television show, or, as they used to be known, The Next Episode. That's actually not bad. Having now successfully gifted Prestige Television with its own answer to the Silmarillion via Better Call Saul, Vince Gilligan now returns to Netflix and the streaming world to deliver a Nightwing for the Breaking Bad universe in El Camino, picking back up in the immediate aftermath of Jesse Pinkman's escape from the remote-operated villain-on-villain slaughter of his captors by fallen mentor Walter White in the not-as-important-to-the-plot-as-you-might-think car of the title, and following him on his quest to, well, that's sort of the movie. We don't really know. You see, the challenge of the whole following up and spinning off Breaking Bad after the fact thing is that most of the show was always about how Walter White functioned like a malevolent black hole of a human being, with a gravitational pull that drew everything around him inward and ultimately destroyed it, unless it pulled away until he finally ceased to be. And even now, there's a terrible radiation left in his wake, and the survivors are mostly trying to crawl out of it if they're unfortunate enough to have been aware what caused it in the first place. And part of what that means is that even richly performed, well-drawn supporting players like Aaron Paul's Jesse were not, by design, fully understood beyond what context of who they were and what they were in relation to the former main character who no longer exists. Even though dedicated fans are already comfortable in their presence, mannerisms, catchphrases, etc., any movie is still going to need to invent and get us invested in the 80 to 90% of their inner lives and daily routine that didn't directly involve Walter White or the main storyline of Breaking Bad. So add to the fact Jesse's I just gotta get out of here predicament being the most viscerally compelling thing to the list of obvious reasons why he gets to have the movie. And get it straight, this is the Jesse movie. Yeah, if you were guessing that the basic plot outline goes something like the cops are investigating Walt's operation, Jesse needs to settle his last debts and get the hell far away as he can while he still can. This involves zipping around town, meeting up with characters who are still alive to introduce flashbacks involving characters who are not still alive. I mean, hey, congratulations, you've seen a movie before. But apart from that, this shows admirable restraint in keeping the oh hey, it's him business restricted to stuff that mostly makes sense and only one of the extended previously during Breaking Bad, but during a part you didn't see before. Flashback parts could be termed a moderately gratuitous, and it's kind of the one you want, so yeah. Otherwise, this is, as advertised, almost its own thing. A lean, unpretentious, propulsive, and violent, but not necessarily action-centric outlaw on the run story that walks you at a deliberate pace through a genre shift from bottle episode of Breaking Bad to American Southwest neo-noir, and finally something like a grimy modern-day western. All of it framed around the gradual self-reconstruction of Jesse himself from the beaten dog of the series finale to affecting an older, more traumatized, but possibly still unformed version of his more familiar persona from the series, and finally what feels almost like the emergence of a new, fully grown man whose strikingly confident presence makes what could have been El Camino's one step too far climactic shift into full-blown cowboy genre movie territory in Act 3 really work in spite of itself. I mean, granted, part of the meta-narrative for some Breaking Bad fans had long been how clearly Aaron Paul resembled a natural-born, scrappy, leading man, tough guy action movie type, and how effectively he subsumed that into the person of both young punk Jesse and strung-out guy having his life force drained by association with a guy like Walter Jesse as the series went on. I mean, it really was quite a performance considering how different he is from Jesse Pinkman. So it's really compelling to see his post-series spin-off arc payoff turn out to be Jesse, but also Aaron Paul, now available for work, because sometimes Chris Pratt is gonna say no. The million-dollar question, of course, can you follow it if you haven't seen all of Breaking Bad? I mean, probably, but I don't know why you'd try. I will say I don't feel like I missed out by not fully re-binging all of it recently. Like, I felt pretty caught up, and it's not fan service heavy project like the Downton Abbey movie was. As present-day Southwest neo-noir dark pseudo-westerns go, it's not as good as Hell or High Water or Destroyer, but it's extremely solid, and I liked it. 7 out of 10, give it a look.